And again, like I said, there's so many things that are subclinical. Like you'll feel a certain way, and that may not be the root problem, and we don't want to Band-Aid everything.
Right.
We want to get
So if you
to
take
the
care
root.
of the sleep issue, it might take care of
Some of the other things, the adrenals especially.
Right. Okay.
Low adrenals, I could throw a bunch of supplements at you, or we can get you sleeping better, and the adrenals will sort of repair,
Right.
maybe with a homeopathic. Okay, so that therapy is finished. As I said, some of these therapies are very short. Some of them last a little bit longer.
Does it depend on the person how long the therapy lasts, or is it just the individual therapy?
That's a good question. Both. The individual, some therapies that are actually timed, and some are very quick or long by nature. Also, the system is numeric by nature, so it's looking to rectify you to 100%.
Okay.
So if you're very, very low in a certain area, like your immune system, let's say, and I ask for a 2-minute therapy, you may not actually be rectified until 3 minutes passes.
But it'll keep going?
It'll keep going.
Okay.
It'll keep going. Another thing that this device does automatically is if it's too much therapy, it'll stop. And it'll just say alarm mode. And then
come back later.
Exactly. And then I move on to
Okay.
the next therapy. I like to look at the different systems, like the digestive system. Of course, over the holidays, we all eat a little worse than normal. Definitely your digestion is off. I'm going to give you a little digestive therapy. And, in this kind of a thing, this is a 1-minute therapy. But if you're not rectified to anything over, let's say, 70 or 80%, the system might take a little bit longer or shorter. Also, if you're really stressed, or if your adrenals are burned out, or if you haven't slept the night before, or you're very sensitive that day, maybe you're on your menses, you will go into alarm mode, and the system will tell me to stop doing therapy, because based on your body. See, this is a snapshot in time. I'm asking your body. I'm not asking. The device is asking your body what's going on.
Okay.
So in a week from now, if you've gotten more sleep, we're eating better, maybe you weren't hormonal, or maybe there was less stress in your life, some different things would show. I'd still get some of the same basic information, especially because I can navigate the system and get all kinds of different data, like what toxin you've been exposed to, or if there's a parasite, which one it is, or where it is in your body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's another thing that's very common after the holidays, is the digestion goes off. When our digestion is weakened, we can get parasites or even yeast. See, alarm response. Only you. Anyway, alarm response means, and I'm going to correct this because I can check the alarm and I can actually correct it, and so it's just talking with your body back and forth. It just tells me, I'm real sensitive right now, let's not do too many long therapies.
Okay.
This also can tell me, maybe if I balance your brain waves, we can do more therapies. Now, this system has every type of therapy. I can balance your, I can do pain, I can do spine, I can do digestive system, I can do any organ. I can also do all kinds of fun therapies, like stimulate creativity. There's addiction release. I have things for ADD. I have things for grief. I have, for worry, for overload of the brain. Also, there are some places in this machine where it will tell me, in the device, where it'll tell me that your body wants something. Like, it'll be highlighted. This is a really good example. This is a timed therapy, and here I could do injured tissue or hormones or neurological repair or pain or a sleep treatment, feel-good therapies, chronic fatigue, immune, and usually something will be bolded. So it's kind of like the decision of your body. Your unconscious decides. I try not to be a real part of it intellectually because it's not really, it's not up to me to decide. I try and be more neutral, just using this information as my guide.
Okay.
So let's say right now I'm going to balance your brain waves. I'm going to balance your alpha wave, beta wave, theta wave, delta wave. If let's say I do this therapy and it tells me that there's all kinds of stressors that we haven't cleared yet. I need to go back and do some clearing.
Okay.
Plus, there's ways to double check what we need to do, what's left to do. Right now, I know you've been exposed to some viruses, and a bacteria actually. So it's very important for me to clear that. By the way, these little color-coded lines that you see here just reflect different organisms, like bacteria or fungus or virus.
So
Not everything is color-coded.
Okay.
It doesn't mean anything. Basically, I'm just looking for stressors and imbalances.
Okay.
There is, as I said, a self-correcting portion of this, and I can check to see what is left to be rectified in your body before I take off the straps.
Okay.
Because it's very important that I do a complete treatment and that I don't leave your body either in alarm mode and over stimulate it, or that I don't do enough. So this little system, this little panel here tells me that I still have to rectify and figure out the toxicity you were exposed to. So I'm going to go ahead and run a little therapy right there.
Okay.
Are you feeling good? Okay.
Yeah.
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 It's really important when you get the test to drink a lot of water,
Okay.
because it'll move a lot of energy, even though you may not feel anything. It's very subtle, but
Okay.
something is really happening. It's important to drink a lot of water
After the treatment or
after the treatment,
after the
even
treatment.
during.
Okay.
You don't look dehydrated, but if you did, I would have brought you water.
Okay.
And the great thing is, I could do everything from organ balancing to balancing your chakras. I mean, and a cellulite treatment. So there's everything from A to Z as far as therapies. Now, once we get you balanced, if you come in once a month for 3 months, I could do some of the more fun therapies. But in the beginning, it's most important, obviously, to keep just balancing what needs to be balanced out.
Before you do all the fun things.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, has your digestion been bothering you?
I don't really notice it.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zap whatever you've been exposed to. And by doing a zap, again, I mean the device is sending little pulsed electromagnetic signals to your body,
Okay.
which stimulate your body to correct itself or kill off organisms, hopefully. The frequencies our body really is a frequency of everything. Our cells have a crystalline structure that could be mathematically equated to a frequency. So it's the frequency of the liver organ, or it's the frequency of the cells of the adrenals, or it's the frequencies of your brain waves. And everything is subtle energy. And that's what this is based upon, which is just energy. So there's energy flowing in and out. When we have pain, a lot of times it's a blockage of energy. Sometimes it's inflammation, but where is the inflammation coming from? Again, I'm going to figure that out from the information from the device.
So will the information be different from the beginning of the testing at the end of the testing?
No.
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 You'll have the same outcome and
Yeah. One session is based on basically what's going on right
Okay.
now. I'm rectifying your system as we go along, but it's not going to change on the device, because the main test is still. Now what happens is every time you come in, I will compare the different times. So when you came in before, I know what your numbers were, and now today I compare those numbers.
Okay.
So I always have a baseline
Right.
of what's going on each month or every 6 weeks or however often it is you come in.
Okay.
And that information will change from time to time. But I don't find that people change drastically. Most of the time your numbers will remain in the same ballpark, and we're usually dealing with an issue for anywhere from 1 to 6 sessions. So it just kind of depends.
Okay.
However, along those lines, when I go through the different therapies that I want to do, I'm clearing all the main stuff that came up on your test.
Okay.
So it's sort of like I'm not going to let you leave until I feel like everything has been cleared.
Until I'm out of the danger zone.
Exactly, yeah. And then along the way, I'm really trying to pinpoint the few things that you might need,
Okay.
whether it's nutrients or homeopathics, or I might need to make a recommendation like, oh, you're starting to look very sensitive to wheat or dairy. I didn't run an allergy panel on you because you didn't look like you were having allergies, just that toxic exposure. But I can find out environmental allergies, you know, if you've got mold and dust or animal hair or food allergies or sensitivities. When you hear that gong, that means the test is over.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
the therapy is over. So I just kind of move on from there. I will show you what the allergy panel looks like, because a lot of people love the fact that you can do allergy testing without needles and
Right.
without the little prick tests.
Right.
So this will tell me specific food allergies, animal hair, dairy, grain, sensitivity to odors, pollens, food additives, sugar reactivity, mold and dust. And the beautiful thing is that once we figure out what it is you're allergic to, I can run an allergy therapy that will desensitize you to the allergens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's...
Do you have to do more than one, or?
Sometimes, if it's
Okay.
really severe, but oftentimes there's a big difference between allergies and sensitivities. If you have a really strong allergy, it'll take more than one time, and I'll have
Okay.
to give you remedies. Sensitivities often come about by when people eat the same foods over and over again, or when their system is really tired or toxic or there's a lot of inflammation. They start regarding the foods that they're eating as poisons.
Okay.
So it's not a true allergy. Like wheat as an example. Wheat is a big problem in our environment right now. Mostly because wheat has been hybrided. It's not the same wheat. I think in the 70s or 80s they changed the grain. So the wheat that we eat is not what we used to eat. So here are people eating a product with a grain that's been changed. It may be picked before it's ripe, it may be fumigated, and it's processed on equipment with petrochemicals and other things, and then it's bleached, and then there's nutrients put back into it. So you could be reacting to 27 different things. I mean, there's just no telling what you're reacting to. Now, there's 3 different categories of people that are sensitive to wheat. There's people that are really allergic, and there's people that can never eat it, and they have really a condition that creates inflammation in the gut. There's people that have a sensitivity to it, and there's people that are fine with it. If you have a sensitivity, if you're in the middle ground, you could actually take it out of your diet. I could give you some digestive enzymes, clean up your gut a bit, maybe some probiotics, and you would be fine. If we reduce the inflammation, your body won't react. Some people are also reacting to foods because they have leaky gut. They're just not breaking down the foods. It's a lack of digestive enzymes, or it's maybe the food sits in the stomach too long. There's all kinds of different things that can happen from the time you eat the food until it's all broken down and digested. That's why this device is so amazing, because I can look at the whole digestive system, all the different organs, all the different processes. And it's not just, you don't have to go and have a colonoscopy or get your stomach scoped. Energetically, it's going to help me see what's going on. So if it pinpoints that you have a grain or a wheat sensitivity, I could say, stay away from wheat for 10 days. Do these digestive enzymes and then add it back in slowly.
So you can add it back in.
Absolutely.
Once you correct. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
once you correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, again, this will take a lot of the guesswork out, because there's so much detailed information. And the way that I put the information together can help you understand what's going on. So many times people come in and they've been to lots of doctors. They just don't know what's going on in their body.
Right.
This can really help to pinpoint. And so I like to make it a really nice domino game, so that you understand what the main domino problem is and how to correct it so that your life goes smooth from now on.
Okay.
And like I said, after a couple therapies, once you start, if you come in just for feel-good stuff or just for maintenance, I can do all kinds of different other therapies. I have people that like me to do to balance their eyes or the vision, or if they tend to get inflamed sinuses, I could do sinus. I could do a lot of emotional issues, like there's an NLP program here, which means neuro-linguistic programming. Sometimes we walk around with core beliefs, and our programming is just off, where we don't feel like we're successful. Maybe we feel like a failure or something like that. There's all kinds of different things that we can do to just detach these thought patterns.
Oh, wow.
And it doesn't require therapy. Yeah, it's amazing.
Fascinating how many things it can do.
Yeah, it is. That's why I said we could really literally be here for hours. But again, you don't have to worry about it, because the way that the session goes, it just sort of flows one into the next.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's amazing. So, because you've had an alarm a couple times, I'm going to go ahead and close the system down. And I'm going to take the magnets off of you, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.